Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. Let's get started. So, the other day, we're all watching these highlight shows and these prediction shows, and two questions stood out in my mind. Two things. Somebody said, I won't mention any names, Jaws, that Colin Kaepernick will be one of the greatest ever. Kid hasn't even played a full season, and he's the greatest ever. One of the skill set. He hasn't played a full season yet. Let the kid make mistakes. Let the kid develop before we say he's one of the greatest or going to be one of the greatest ever. I mean, let me just pull a list out of the air. Let's see. Brett Favre, Warren Moon, John Elway, Dan Marino. Those are four guys right there. And I haven't even gotten to Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, those guys who are still playing. And there's still more. You can list Fran Tarkenton, Troy Aikman, Steve Young. The list goes on and on. Greatest. One of the greatest ever. Let the kid play first. We all thought Michael Vick was going to be one of the greatest ever. Then he got injured and in trouble. You got to let things play out. This is a violent game. The longevity in the NFL, the average NFL lifespan for a career is 3.5 years. 3.5 years. So, and that's just to be an average player. Now you're telling him he's got to be great, and when everybody's gunning for you, let's hold off on this greatness talk, this elite talk. And once you're the only people who are really, really great in their sport are those who have busts in their Hall of Fame. Those are elite players. Those are great players. There are guys who are good for a certain span or get overlooked because they were on a bad team. But we can dive into all that later. But I just want to say, great already? Let them play 16 games first. Let's see if the NFL has figured it out. That's like you can't make your bust for Canton when he hasn't even had a full body of work yet. The second thing that I thought was hilarious that I heard somebody say was Matt Flynn. Get this? Are you sitting down? Matt Flynn is the second best quarterback in the AFC West. I know, right? Oh man, woo. Almost lost my drink. It was that funny. The second best quarterback. The question was, is Matt Flynn the second best quarterback in the AFC West? Why would you even ask that? Why would you even ask that question? You have Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning, and Alex Smith all in that division. Is he the second best quarterback in the AFC West? No. Not even the second best quarterback on his team, let alone the AFC West. And after last night's performance by the Raiders, he may not even be starting on his team. And he plays for the Raiders. Need I say more? The Raiders. Oh my Lord. It just how do you do it? How do they come up with this stuff? That's like saying Josh Freeman's a top 10 quarterback. Josh Freeman. Well, I had to get that off my chest. I know you guys were listening to all that stuff, but I had to get it off my chest. But hey, it's fantasy football week. Most people are having their drafts now. This is the time to have it in the next couple weeks or so, because now you'll know who's on your rosters and who might be injured and who may not be. A few guys you may want to look out for. One guy, T.Y. Hilton, pretty good. You might want another sleeper, maybe a tight end, Jacob Tamme or Jordan Chandler for the Browns. And we'll sprinkle in a few other guys here and there as we have more shows. But prepare your draft boards, draft well. Strategy is what is about in fantasy football drafts. You have to have strategy. You have to have a game plan. You can't go in there blind. You have to understand the dynamic of the game, who plays, and who will give you value points. You can have a lot of superstars who don't get you points and a lot of second-tier players who get you a lot of points. It's just about matchups. It's about drafting well, and it's about how you strategize when you're playing. Make sure you're focused. Make sure you're dialed in. Are you ready for some fantasy football? Here we go. But last but not least, Josh Freeman? Matt Flynn? Get out of here. That's been your edition of the Hurry Up. I'm your host, Adam. I'm out.